Let's get to it. 3, 2, 1. Top Hill episode
144.
Nope.
Shit. I was guessing off the top two.
Right.
144. Top Hill episode 145.
There we go. Hold on. And she's back, y'all. She's back.
That's crazy. I was just going off of memory. Like, what do you think the last one you said was?
Right.
3 came to mind.
I ain't gonna lie. I mean, you was technically right on that part. You know what I mean? But it is what it is.
I should have been thinking a little bit better, though.
Think ahead. Welcome to another episode of the Top Hill Podcast. I'm your boy, Mr. Top Hill Pod, a.k.a. E-Money Boss.
And I'm your girl, Jamila, with her own boss.
And I came across an interesting video, man. And I wanted to ask the audience as well, too. You know what I mean? We really do appreciate, you guys pulling up to our show. And there's been some topics that I've seen that I'm curious to know how you guys feel about African Americans and how we can actually bridge the gap between the diaspora. You know what I mean? Like, for a long time, I know that they've been trying to separate us, keep us apart. I've heard stories from people that I know who came over to America for the first time, and their African parents will say, stay away from African Americans. They're ghetto, they're lazy, they're this, they're that, and that you don't want to associate yourself with them.
Right. But
in reality, when a lot of times when you guys come over here, it's a culture shock because where you guys come from, mostly everybody's black. So everybody they don't see each other as oh, you're black, or you're this, you're that. It's you're representing your country, your nation for the most part. When you come over here, it doesn't matter if you're Jamaican, Nigerian, Ghanaian, or African American, you're black to everybody. They just put you in a box. You get pulled over, you're a black man. You know what I mean? So anyway, I think it's better that we come together as a collective, build each other up, and not tear each other down. And if we do have problems, and we do have, issues and stuff like that, then we should try to figure out how can we resolve them, and try to dispel some of these myths. So, I saw an interesting video. I'm gonna bring this up. And let me know what you guys think.
I do have this conversation a lot with Africans or even just Caribbean people who will often look down on Black Americans. Number one, they will say they lazy, they ghetto. I've heard African parents tell their kids not to date African American men, not to marry them, things of that nature. What are some negative stereotypes y'all heard about Black Americans from your parents, from your friends?
You literally said it all.
Yeah. That's it?
Yeah, 100%.
Right.
My mom would tell me not to marry now.
Yeah.
Right. She says it all the time.
Even when I hear African parents say that, it very much sounds like the same rhetoric that a white person would tell their kids. Don't marry that black guy, he's ratchet, they ghetto. It's crazy to hear other Black people have that type of rhetoric towards each other. I do have this conversation a lot with Africans or even...
Jamil, what's your thoughts on that? What he was saying?
Well, I'm African American, so
yeah,
it's hard to explain because it's true.
Mm-hmm. What part's true?
Some of the things that are said about African Americans, but it's also the same. But it's not based on race. That's just how humans are. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I feel as though you could say the same exact thing about white people or whatever the case may be. I feel like we just needed a break. I feel like our culture is where I am.
Mm-hmm.
It's we're trying our best, we're doing good, we're making all these great strides, and we're definitely showing immense growth, but it's definitely that disconnect between the two cultures. Because we do look bad out here sometimes. And they're not highlighting the good things parts about us, and we're also not highlighting the good things about Africa as well.
Right. Yeah, and I think that's where the propaganda really, starts. Is that they highlight the negative and never report the positive. I guess some rhetorics are true, right? Yes, there are some black people. And I'm not going to dispel and say like, black people can't be ghetto and can't be lazy. Yes, there are some people who are ghetto and there's some people who are lazy. True. But to categorize all of us as that,
you're tripping.
Right, you're absolutely tripping. Just like I know that there's, if I go to Ghana, not all the Ghanaian people are the same. They're all going to be different. They're going to be raised differently, from different families, different tribes, different upbringings and stuff like that. It's the same thing as over here as well too.
I feel like, but we should still just be giving grace due to our history.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because we were designed like this, but for white people or any other culture that have similar characteristics in their culture, I don't see how come. Like, why?
Right. I'm going to try to see if I can find this video. And I'm going to show you an example of something that was... I saw it, and I was just like... I felt bad. And I was just like, yo, stop proving them right. You know what I mean? Like, it's really disheartening to see. All right. So, we
got to stop reporting this news, too.
But I think it's important to talk about because they're already seeing it.
Right.
You know what I mean? And then...
It's a catch-22 when you really think about it.
What you mean?
Just reporting news.
Yeah. I think it's awareness because we're coming from the side of, we're not like saying that this is the norm because this is not the norm.
No.
You know what I mean? This is something that has happened, and I know as an African American man, I'm looking at this and I'm just like, this is disrespectful. You know what I mean? Like, and I was there. I'm not at the same time these ladies were there,
right.
But I was there and I just had a different way of thinking.
That spirit.
Yeah, it wasn't like I'm about to start. It's like the equivalent of me like throwing money in the air. Like, you know what I mean? It's just like I'm not going to do that. So, I'm not going to go to the slave castle and act a fool. You know what I mean? I'm going to try to show some respect. Now, to them, they might have thought that this was a way of. I'm trying to think it from their perspective, like what they would think. It was like maybe like pretty much
exercising our freedom to do what we want to do.
Yeah. But is this the right way of doing that, or is there a right or wrong way?
That's exactly what I was getting ready to say because I want to see the video. Let's see the video.
All right, here we go. You want to see? Here it goes. He said for the ancestors. I know it's not the same girl. That's crazy if she said that.
Wow, what is going on?
I hope that's not the same person. Yeah, so that was a video. It was on that shit though. I ain't gonna lie. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
I don't know. It was just distasteful.
Yeah. So we gotta learn, and I'm gonna try to take some responsibility, for us. When you go out of the country, you have to look at it as like you're going to somebody else's house.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? What you do in your house is your business, but what you do in somebody else's house, you got to show respect. You know what I mean? It's like similar to like the Brittany Griner situation.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to Russia, knowing that's the ops. Number one, number two, you should be aware of what is against the law or not.
Mm-hmm.
And if you are ignorant to it, unfortunately, this is not how the world works. You have to educate yourself. You have to be aware of where you're going and what you're getting yourself into whenever you're going out of the country.
Out of the state.
Yeah, even out of the state. That's facts. Because our state laws are completely different. You know what I mean? Like, stuff that you do here in Maryland, you won't be able to get away with if you do it in Florida or Texas or something like that. You have to.
Some things might be an automatic jail offense in
Right.
certain states.
Right. Some might be a death penalty in some states. You know what I mean? So you need to understand, and don't just say like, "Well, I didn't know." That's not an excuse.
At all.
That's not an excuse anymore. Like, if you are above the age of 18, you are now an adult, and you have to start carrying yourself like an adult and start becoming aware of these situations. You know what I mean? Like, you can't go over there and tell them like, well, it shouldn't be that way. You don't run this. You know what I mean?
That is the craziest math, but people do it.
Yeah, people do, and people say it. Like, going back to the Brittany Griner thing, I heard so many people say like, why are they tripping over a little piece of this, a little piece of a weed or something like that?
Don't matter what they tripping
It
over.
doesn't matter what they're tripping over. That's their laws. That's their rules.
They can
And
do
you
what
went
they
to their
want.
house. You went to their house. So the same thing goes here. It's one thing. Like, yeah, you want to twerk and have fun, good time. There's a lot of places in Ghana to do
Y'all could have
that.
even did that at that place and not recorded it and posted it.
Right. Then don't explode where you're at. Like, go to the beach down the street. You know what I mean? But to do that at such a sacred site, and the meaning of it, the context of it, like, this is what our people went through at that castle. I don't know if they turn it back in the grave, like, yo, this is what y'all doing now when y'all come back? Like,
Shaking your ass when y'all come back to the week. That what? Huh?
yeah, no, it's crazy. For me, when I go out the country, I try to be respectful for wherever I'm going, man. So that's my thoughts on that. It's about respect. So be respectful when you go to somebody else's house.
Top hill, top hill, top